Yo, what is good, yo? I have a serious question. I don't know if I really want to state it at the beginning or now or at the end, but it just has to do with Fate Grand Order. Do you want me to review it, the people that were watching the show, or people that just watch me in general? Is that something you guys would want me to do, or would you just rather me not do uh, Fate Grand Order and just stick in my lane? I don't know. I know there's some like Fate fans here, but I don't know if it's something that really garners me reviewing it as much as I can just watch it myself. But regardless of that, we get an episode 13 of the show, which I could have sworn it was only supposed to be 12, so this episode was definitely out of left field for me. Like, I was not expecting it. I think even my title of what I titled the last episode I did was like, this season was really good and it's over or something, like clearly stating that I thought it was completely kaput. But I think I was wrong. So, no, I'm really wrong. So, it's nice to see that we get a nice little send-off for all these characters, even seeing one character rising to the level of Pride, which is another reason why I was kind of asking if I should do Fate Grand Order, because there's continuation with the characters within this show in there, I'm pretty sure. Like, the girl that we see, the one who was a runner-up for the family or whatever, she is the girl that she was talking to is one of the people that are actually in that show. I'm not sure if the girl who is, in line for being the Lord too is in that show as well. So that's interesting. If they all kind of like all the students kind of come back and play a role in that show. What only reason why I was kind of looking into it and kind of wanted to know even what happens to those characters, which someone stated it the best, is just like, this is a good show for them to boost the popularity, and not only boost the popularity but just show what's going on outside of the Holy Wars, which they're talking about a fifth one coming so far. So it's a overall interesting situation with where this can go. Seeing one of his students become a Pride is pretty much them getting into the clock tower, I believe. So with them getting into that threshold, they can join like the Holy Wars and all that stuff. So we're in a very, very interesting spot when we end this show, seeing everybody kind of accepting their roles and looking forward to the future, and Gray kind of finally, not really finally, but getting more recognition of, your place is here if you really want it to be here. Like, I'm gonna need you, and I'm gonna need you to say you want to be here, than me just like forcing you and saying you're going to be with me all the time. So it was a way to kind of confirm that he knew he needed her, but he also wanted her to know that, so it wasn't just something like she's tagging along or holding him back or anything. Now she knows that it's all good and he really does want her by his side. So I like all that. I like all the like finishing all the points that we kind of didn't get in the end of the show. So now we kind of get that, and after getting it, it feels pretty good to know where the future kind of holds for Gray and all them, because to be fair, we've seen a lot transpire throughout this season, but that's all this stuff is baby compared to what actually happens in any of the fates that I've seen. Like, all of this stuff could happen within almost 2 episodes, right? Like 2-3 episodes. Everything that transpired in this first season probably would have been skimmed over, and then we jump straight into like big battles with servants going in, breaking up stuff. So it's funny to see this way of like things being handled, right? Like people handling things almost in court or something along those lines, but then getting too ahead of themselves and actually needing to be taken down right then and there. So I don't know. I feel like there was so much going on in every situation with little details here and there popping up But then at the same time, it was clear that every little cases that came about weren't really meant to be solved with just logic and stuff when you have magic that just takes away all of that in the first place. So it's just nice for me in the general to know that there's a place for this show. There's a place for the Fate universe and smaller characters that people may not really care for or even think about after their first appearance of showing up somewhere, and then they kind of just fall off the map. A lot of people are like that, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Oops. But because there's so much riding on what we, kind of get here and can transpire in other, like, further shows down the line, I thought that was a cool way of just being like, hey, here's a show that is, it could stop here, but instead of stopping it, they're allowing it to be something more. They're allowing our Lord to go further in the story mode, go further in the story of his own than just, ending this story and being like, oh yeah, and he looked for Faker and that was the end of it all. Will he ever find Faker? The world may never know, which would be interesting if that does show up in Grand Order as well, him trying to find Faker or something like that. So I don't know what to really expect anymore with Fate, including how this ended. It seemed really abrupt. It felt almost as if I couldn't, tell what I was going to get at all. It was really sappy and showing, like this really soft side of Waver and how he felt about Ryder, and even getting to see him in a dream is kind of, cheap in his books. He's like, this isn't even it. So don't think that you're getting off that easy without, like seeing me, and I can't accept this as it and stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of this show. It's just that it can't be as mainstream as I would want it, or as much as I liked it. It's not for everybody, so that's fine by me. I definitely just look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with the Waver character, if he does show up in Grand Order or if he's already in the writing of it. That would be nice to know, because I would be down to like review it and talk about it if like almost dang near every single character makes a reoccurrence or something along those lines, right? That would be pretty cool. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing night, evening, whatever the case may be. This show definitely just wanted to give us some closure on some things and even push forward the narrative of whatever else was popping off later on in series. So they definitely did that and some more. So I just look forward to seeing what you guys are feeling about it. And like I said, if you do want me to look into and have a little open slot for Fate / Grand Order, I wouldn't mind even re-downloading my Fate game, and I will definitely try to get that done. But yeah, I already said my outro, so with all that being said, everyone, have an awesome one, and I will talk to you later today, because it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, it's 12 a.m., so it's already the next day. So with that, peace.